First, they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you. Then you win. I heard them say the revolution won't be televised. Al Jazeera proved them wrong. Twitter has them paralyzed.
A survey cited in the Huffington Post suggests that many political youth have turned to Twitter, with over 40,000 users in the Middle East and 200 billion subscribers to the Egypt hashtag internationally. The Al Jazeera website has also launched a Twitter dashboard to illustrate what is happening in the region.
I do not use Twitter. Basically, it's just kind of updating the Facebook status of your life, and I don't think my life is that interesting.
I know when there was an earthquake in Japan, Twitter was the first place I found out the latest information, and I like to follow some celebrities and find some good jokes sometimes and learn about all the things happening on campus as well.
I don't have my own Twitter account, but I do look at other people's tweets. It's really bad, but I basically use Twitter as like the new Facebook to creep people. I would love to say that I use it for political reasons or like for news and things like that. I just don't think it's at the level of quality that it could be.
While not everyone has a Twitter account, and it is sometimes associated with misinformation and entertainment, it has been shown to be an important information disseminator both on campus and in Egypt.
I think campus would be a really good place for Twitter just because of the types of people who use Twitter. It's really targeted for like a younger demographic.
For citizen journalism, I think now that people know how easy it is to tweet and how easy it is to share information, more and more people will start sharing information about Western and using the hashtag, which is the # and then UWO. More people will be getting that information out there about little things that are happening on campus.
Twitter can be used as a tool of social mobilization. The Student Refugee Program at Western used Twitter to organize a rally after its referendum was deemed invalid by the University Students' Council.
Social media is an important way in rallying people.
The microblog has the power to reach masses and amplify protests. The same was seen in Egypt with the January 25th demonstrations and uprising. Twitter accelerates the rate of a revolt and brings activists together.
On 25 and 26, the government started by blocking Facebook.com, Twitter.com, and Bambuza.com from Egypt. Me and my friends, we used different programs to break the proxy and to access these websites from different locations out of Egypt.
While Mubarak's government tried to silence the people by blocking internet and later cell phones, citizens found ways to continue having a voice. One innovation that really helped was Speak to Tweet.
They set up 3 international phone numbers that people in Egypt could call and leave a voicemail, and that voicemail would automatically be sent out as a tweet.
I think it makes people more aware.
I've seen it as probably the most effective way of communicating on campus. For example, when we had those snow days, before any email was sent, before it was on the Western website, it was on Twitter, and that's how I found out, and that's how I let a whole bunch of people know.
When there was a potential of a strike on campus, Twitter was used to keep students informed about negotiations.
Twitter is, I guess we used it in the way that a lot of people are using it these days, which is in a breaking news fashion.
Twitter helped shape the narrative for traditional media internationally.
You have enough people you're following, you don't necessarily get complete situational awareness, but you get a pretty close proximity to it, at least to paint a picture in your head of what you should be trying to report next.
I urge you to use the word revolt and uprising and revolution and not chaos and not unrest. We're talking about a historic moment in the history of my people.
While the Mubarak regime wanted the protests to seem like anarchy and chaos, Twitter helped change this by providing on-the-ground information. I would call this bridge microblogging.
It sort of gives you maybe a closer sense of what's happening there than reading headlines, to sort of know that there's a real person there right now.
We're getting on-the-ground live information, ongoing.
Even the US government saw Twitter to be an important tool.
We are concerned by the shutdown of Al Jazeera in Egypt and the arrest of its correspondents. Egypt must be open and the reporters released.
30 minutes later, our journalists were released.
Twitter did not cause the revolution in Egypt, but it did help amplify it by disseminating important information between citizens within Egypt and bridging information gaps with the rest of the world. At Western, the same has been seen on a lesser scale. As more get on board with the technology, its impacts will only grow.
I heard them say the revolution won't be televised. Al Jazeera proved them wrong. Twitter has them paralyzed. 80 million strong and ain't no longer going.